But anyway, these are several different citrus trees that I've got growing there. This one on the right, you see the fruit right up in the top there? I got that from a man named Sherwood Aiken several years ago when I started collecting citrus. How many ever heard of Sherwood Aiken? He was a citrus pioneer and member of Southern Fruit Fellowship as well, but he was one of the original guys that started out with this hardy citrus deal, so he was a big inspiration to me. All right, Ned. There's a picture of my Satsuma Grove, which those of you that come over and tour the farm this afternoon will be able to see, my, what a difference. In fact, I have some then and now pictures on the slideshow here, but that was the year it was planted in 2007, April of 2007. And you can see how small the trees were. They were about knee high. In fact, those little stakes there that you see at the end of every row or at every tree, that's my freeze protection system. I've got little tiny sprinklers, microjet sprinklers they call them. And on the real cold nights, 25 degrees is my cut-on point. If it's going below 25, I cut my sprinklers on and ice my grove down, and it keeps them from the cold. But last year, Mother Nature really pulled a fast one on me. Usually here in South Carolina, it doesn't go below freezing until after dark. Well, they were calling for 14 degrees. That was our coldest night last winter. I went over at 5 o'clock to cut my water on because it wasn't quite dark yet. The sun was going down. And when I turned the valve on, guess what? No water. My little spaghetti tubings that runs up those little stakes that you see there had frozen solid already at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So my citrus grove went through an entire night with a 14-degree low. I thought I had bought the farm, literally. But I think I lost 5 or 6 trees out of the 135 tree grove. So I consider myself fortunate that they all weren't killed. Okay, next one, Ned. There it is today. Can you believe the difference? That's quite a difference. That's 2 years growth of a Satsuma grove. So
Still got the misters.
Still got the misters, yeah. I haven't used them this year yet, though. I got to go through and make sure all of them, not stopped up or spider webs or whatever. All right, next shot. There's you see the Cuban running down my rows there, and you can still see some of the little stakes scattered about. But that particular variety there is LA Early, and they've set a few fruit this year. But I hope next year will be my something fell. I don't know what it was, but anyway. Oh, it's back there. Okay. I hope next year to start my pick your own grove where people can come out and harvest their own citrus and pay an exorbitant price. Okay? I mean, where else can you go in South Carolina and pick your own citrus? Yeah. I mean, that's a learning experience for the kids. It'd be worth $10 at least for a half bushel.
Yeah.
All right. There I am showing exactly how tall the trees have grown, and as I was saying, you'll be able to see that this afternoon when you go over to the grove. So. And by the way, a plug for my vegetable farm. Mine is non-organic, but I got some big, beautiful cabbage and collards and all that stuff over there. And so if you want vegetables, you're welcome to come over here. There's a close-up shot of what those little microjet sprinklers look like. And I use all kind of high-tech material when I do my stuff there. That's regular old duct tape holding it to the little, yeah. What would we do without duct tape? Years ago, it was hay binding wire. A farmer couldn't farm without hay binding wire, but now it's duct tape. All right, Ned, we got any more? Okay, there's that trifoliate orange. How many have ever heard of trifoliate orange? Yeah, a lot of them. We had that on the farm all my life, as far as I know. I've heard that years ago the ladies would take them, the old plantation homes and the old farmhouses and stuff, before the days of plug it in, they would take a bowl of these trifoliate oranges in and slice a few of them, and they gave off an aroma in the kitchen or whatever, in the house, to make it smell real sweet. So, and I told them when I was growing up, we were so poor at my house. My mom used to actually cut some of those branches off with the spiny stickers there and get these little colored gumballs, red and green and yellow and orange, and that would be one of our Christmas decorations. And somebody might say, well, just how poor were you? Well, the wolf came to our door and left a sympathy card. Now that's pretty cool. But anyhow, these things are terrible to eat, but they do make a great rootstock. So if you're, And I have people ask me all the time, what rootstock do you use? I said, well, it just all depends on what I can get my hands on, you know. I've got Swingle citramella rootstocks. I've got some trifoliate rootstocks. I've got some Flying Dragon. I got some Calamandan rootstocks. Got some Thomasville Citranquat rootstock. And all of them, you know, some things fit on one and maybe don't, and not quite as compatible on another. Okay? That's that same county agent over in Horry County at Conway, South Carolina, sent me a picture of this kumquat tree that he bought from me that is loaded with flowers. I don't know whether he made a good crop of fruit or not. I tried to invite him to come over to the expo today and be with us, but I think his wife had other plans. So he's one of those fellows like I am. He's henpecked. He does what Mama says. So there was a bumper sticker I saw one time that said, "If Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy." So a lot of truth in that. There's my kumquat tree, Ruth Ann, that I told you was loaded this year. That is a seedling kumquat tree. You see the dead branches behind it? That was a bloom sweet grapefruit. It didn't like 14 degrees last winter. The kumquat tree sailed right through it, never lost a leaf. So if you want you a good hardy citrus tree, plant you a seedling kumquat tree. And I will be selling seeds from my kumquat tree. You get to eat the kumquat and you spit out the seed for $1 each this afternoon. So everybody take a kumquat tree home with them, right? Okay, Ned. There's the man from Conway. He bought that satsuma tree from me some 4 or 5 years ago, and he's getting great crops of satsumas there. I got an email, I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. This week's kind of faded into, I don't know, and great beyond, because I've been so busy trying to get this Citrus Expo thing organized and trying to run my farm too, till things fade away. But I got an email with a picture attached from a lady in Harker's Island, North Carolina. And I do believe it's probably one of the most beautiful trees I've ever seen in my life. It is just loaded, just hanging with fruit. So she was very proud of it. She wanted me to see one of my grandchildren. I tell people these citrus trees that I sell are my grandkids, so I want you to, you know, keep me posted on how they're doing. All right, Ned. And there's a palm can that I sold a guy. So he's it's green, but he took some pictures and sent them over for me. All right. And that is a citramon. I got that one, brought back a seed. We were talking about the seedling kumquats. I think maybe Ned was with me. We went down to the Florida Citrus Arboretum in, I guess it's Lakeland, somewhere near there. And got a seed off of one of those trees they had there. That's half lemon, half trifoliate. And you look real carefully at the biggest fruit there. You see the little sections in it. Looks almost like a pumpkin. So it's a pretty unusual little citrus there, and very, very cold hardy. Stays out in the cold, never bothers it. Nice little ornamental. That one last year, the first time I tasted it, fruited last year for the first time. It was sour, but not a whole lot of trifoliate bitter aftertaste to it. So I thought maybe it was going to be a good one, but I hadn't tried it this year to see if it's holding true or whatever. But anyhow, that's called citramon. All right, and then that's Miss Juanita Barroneau. The Juanita tangerine tree is on tour today. That tree, you can see the height of it, the tree that's right behind her. If you look carefully, you can pick out some little green tangerines on there. This lady's husband was eating fruit one Christmas, and like we men do sometimes, he got lazy and didn't want to go all the way to the trash can with the seeds, so he just stuck them down in her snake plant pot there at the end of the table. And she saw these weird little plants coming up in there and wanted to know what that was, and told him he better get them out of there. So I think he took them out and planted them in the azalea bed on the end of the house. And the first winter, pretty well all of them got killed, but this one here. And so we've named it Juanita after the lady here, because I've even asked some of the guys from Florida to ID that particular tangerine variety. And none of them, some of them said it looks like it could be dancy, but they grow straight up. Some of them said it looks like palm cans, but they're real tall trees. I've had people ask me, how do they gather that fruit? Well, she has a son-in-law that's in the tree cutting business, whatever, with buckets, cherry picker. So every between Thanksgiving and Christmas, he comes over with the cherry picker